I had seen this TikTok a long time ago. This guy that was like a good friend of Marilyn Monroe. He was basically talking about whenever him and Marilyn Monroe were walking down a street one day, he noticed that nobody was really paying attention to her. Like everybody was minding their business and just, they didn't really notice that Marilyn Monroe was in the room. He had said that she had told him like, oh, do you want to see her? Like basically like, you want to see me do my aura effect? And then he said once she like turned off the switch and like turned on another switch, within 10-15 feet people just started swarming around them. And a lot of people describe Marilyn Monroe as like, she had this aura around her that it's like she wasn't just Norma Jean, she became Marilyn Monroe. That energy was just like this magnetic field that everybody around her could feel. I think that as women, we all have that within us where we could channel that. We naturally possess that trait that if we really wanted to, we could genuinely go within ourselves and start to have this aura around us, like, and project that to the outer world, and just makes us just magnetic souls. But I think with a lot of the distractions we have and a lot of things just holding us back from channeling that energy, there's a lot of social media brain rot, junk food that's always available 24/7, easy, like McDonald's, a whole bunch of just negative, low vibrational things that keep us stuck. And so we're just never able to fully transform into the baddie that we could be. That's what today's episode is about. As y'all can see from the title, it's how to be extremely confident. Welcome back to another episode of the Sexiest in the City podcast. I am your host, Fatima Ziwan, and this is just a podcast I created where we could just, as girls, unite and just talk about what it takes to be the sexiest bitch in the motherfucking city. We fall into moments of insecurity and doubt, and it's very hard to find a way and a routine that works for us, especially with the chaotic days that we be having. So I just created this podcast where we could just talk about the mindset shifts and the little tiny micro habits that we can implement every single day that in the long run will make us the baddest in the motherfucking city. I'm really excited for this week's episode. I literally have my computer right next to me. I have all my notes because I didn't want to miss a single thing. When it comes to energy and radiating energy and manifesting that confidence, I understand. Like, I literally understand. I went from being completely side character, like nobody gives a fuck, to feeling like when I walk into the room, I can genuinely feel the energy shift in any room I walk in. Like, I feel that in my soul. If you've had that feeling before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Instead of just channeling it every once in a while, we want to channel that bad bitch energy. That is your feminine energy and staying in your feminine. And so I want to talk today about how we can channel our feminine, what we could do, the mindset that we need to make in order to channel that. And so yes, queens, let's get into today's episode. I know what it feels like to be a sideline character and nobody gives a fuck and or respects you. You end up internalizing people's projections of you that you literally feel like you're a fucking loser because you've walked around life with people treating you like a fucking loser, and so you start acting like a motherfucking loser. You ever just know that even though you're at your worst, like if you even put any type of effort, you know what a bad bitch you can be. Like, you know, if you did your makeup a certain way, or if you showed up to the gym 3 times a week like you said you would, or if you ate certain meals that wouldn't make you bloated in certain ways, or actually put effort in the way you speak and the way you carry yourself and actually carrying through with the goals and the plans you have, you know that if you put even the fucking slither of effort, you would shit on literally everybody. You know what I'm saying? I felt like that for so long, where it was like, I know that I'm a baddie if I do my makeup. And just that confidence that's like kind of like whispering in the background, but you can't really validate it because you have nothing to show for it. So I had that, but I felt like I wasn't a cool kid. I wasn't a jocks. I wasn't in sports. Like, I literally felt like one of those characters that were like just awkward. Like, y'all know Jess from New Girls, like just how she's so awkward. I'm not describing myself as a Jess, but like I was kind of that archetype of person, you know? And I didn't want to be that archetype of person. You know, you look at celebrities that you kind of look up to in a way. Like, to me, Britney Spears, 2000 Britney Spears to be exact. You look at her and you see her on stage and like she's a superstar, and that confidence that radiates from her is just that motherfucking aura. And to me, being in that type of archetype didn't make me personally feel confident. And I didn't really try for anything in life. I didn't try. I would binge eat so much. I never cared about calories. I didn't even really calorie count or understand the importance of calorie counting. And just my lack of effort towards every aspect of my life, my physical, my emotional, my spiritual, everything was just lacking to me. I didn't put my full potential, and I feel like I let all my inner demons control the way I showed up every single day in my life. It hit a point where it was like, it was taking a toll on me. Once I turned 19, I didn't want to live that way anymore, because I think you hit a certain point in your life where you actually realize how finite life is. Nothing is forever, and you're not going to be this youthful forever. You're going to age, which obviously aging is a blessing, but at the end of the day, you want to look back when you're 80 and 90 and look back and be like, oh my God, yes, that was Granny back in the motherfucking days. Like, Granny was don't play on Granny. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to just be on your deathbed being like, I didn't get to dress the way I wanted to, act the way I wanted to, travel to the places I wanted to. That, to me, is what really drove me. It's like, I don't want that regret. I don't want to feel like I didn't max out all that I could in this lifetime. You have to have a level of cockiness. You have to know that you are the best, because at the end of the day, you're not going to live in anybody else's shoes but your own. So if you're going to be in your own body 24/7 for the rest of your life, you might as well respect the person that's in the motherfucking body. So yes, you are the best in your universe, and you should believe you're the best in your universe. And I think you should have that level of cockiness, and anybody that comes and tries to shit on it is an insecure person, because anybody that's confident would never feel insecure, would never feel any type of way if another person is feeling a little cocky about themselves. Like, I respect the mindset. The way I was showing up in the world for so long, I was fucking sick of it. And it hit me when I was 19 years old, where I was like, you know what? I don't like the way I dress. I don't like the way my body's kind of built. Actually, matter of fact, now that we're really going down the list of what I don't motherfucking like, I have these checklists of just like, I don't want that. And I think that a lot of your inner demons are what you need to work on in order to have the life that you want. So if you are out of shape, obese, I think that you actually need to start focusing on your health and focusing on actively moving every single day so you can live a better, healthy wellness lifestyle. If you are in a situation where you have no path in life, you don't know where the fuck you're going, I think that's an opportunity to start diving into certain careers that might spark an interest. And I just think everything that you think is negative about your life, or all those dark monsters that you face when nobody's looking, you need to fight those dark demons so you can get all the things that you want out of life. With David Goggins, for example, I don't know if you guys know David Goggins, but he was in the army. When he joined the army, he was 300 pounds, and they basically laughed at him and told him to get the fuck out of here. And like, if you really want to be in the army, you're gonna have to put in that work, lose. Like, they were just telling him something that a regular person wouldn't have gotten it done. An average human being wouldn't have done the work that he did to end up getting where he did in the time that he did. You have to look up his story, and it was, to me, it's a very inspiring story with how much perseverance and effort it took him. These type of people show you that you can be at the lowest point in your life. You could have people fucking laughing at you, not taking your ass seriously. But if you have the belief in yourself and you have the perseverance and the discipline to actually put effort every single day in your life, you will end up seeing the rewards of your efforts. If you sit down with yourself and get fucking serious about the type of person you want to be, if you're hitting rock bottom, or you're at a point where you're like, you know what, I think that I can actually channel the best that I can, and I'm so sick of feeling like I'm not taken seriously in life, or that nobody's taking me seriously. You feel like you're not on par with a standard, or you feel like I'm not in shape, I don't look the prettiest I can, there's all these pretty girls, there's all these pretty people. At the end of the day, don't compare yourself. But if you're trying to get to where you're, I guess not to say competition is, so like you want to compete with who you were the day before. A lot of people remain average for a long time because they don't push the limits of their mind. People get too comfortable, too stuck being who they are, that they don't push the capacity of their mind to even change. So a lot of people do stay average, and if they do make change, it's like minuscule change. I seen this video of this, like, it was the Olympic, I don't know what race it was, what it was, but it was a track race where these two countries, I don't know if it was America and another country, but two countries were racing each other, and they were in beef. Like, so before the race happened, they were just competition with each other, right? These two countries are like, I'm gonna beat you, no, I'm gonna beat you, no, I beat you. They're going back and forth, right? Day comes for the race, and these two are ready to race, and they're about to see who's gonna fucking win. And so they're going, and it's like a close call. They're getting close to each other, they're running, they're racing. But out of nowhere, you notice that a whole other country passes both of them up and beats the two people that were caught up in their own world competing. And I think in life, it's like the same thing. Like, a lot of people are gonna fucking doubt you and think that you're a fucking nothing until you come from behind the scenes with all your hard work and perseverance and you fucking surpass. I like that. I just feel like a lot of people are just caught up in their own world. And if you think that you're low, or you're this or that, all these negative things that you think you are, you know how easy it is to catch up in the race? You know what I'm saying? It is so easy to catch up in the fucking race. I'm telling you. That is another reason why I made this podcast. When I was 19 and overweight and depressed and just, I felt at my genuine lowest. I felt FOMO in every aspect. No, the positivity wasn't eating. The love your life, love who you are. It wasn't eating. This is, I didn't love this shit. I want to change who the fuck I am. If you're one of these people that I'm talking about, where you're overlooked, you're overshadowed, nobody takes you seriously, and you want to confidently stand in a room, it starts with you first. It starts with respecting yourself first. And like I said, having a little bit of cockiness and actually believing in the fact that if you put effort, and when you put effort, you are going to achieve more than you've ever even dreamed of. In order to change, you need to be secure in yourself. Not having confidence stem from a lack of security in yourself. And so you're very insecure on who you are and who you have been up until this moment of your life. And in order to not be insecure, you need to start loving yourself. Like, to me, the cure to insecurity is self-love. You need to love yourself. The good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. And it's very, very hard because I think growing up, we've been taught that setting boundaries and being a person can cost you people. It really hurts when you're a kid because you want to make connection and you want to have friends and you want to fit in. So you start to do what you need to do to fit in. You start to carry these habits into your adulthood, and then they start to not serve you anymore. You have this idea of who you could be, but who you have been contradicts who you could be. So I want to take you guys in ways that I love myself and ways that you can love yourself too. It takes time. I don't think that you just wake up one day and you're like, I love myself and I love everything. Everybody has certain insecurities that they have, and doubt and fear, and all ranges of emotion, because that is what makes you human. So you don't have to beat yourself up because you're not some jolly ass fucking person all the fucking time. When you complete goals and promises to yourself, that builds self-confidence. So if you say that you want to get into the gym for 6 months and you stay consistently at the gym for 6 months, on the 6th month, you're going to feel confident because you actually kept your word, and that's going to create trust with yourself. That's how you build self-love, and that's how you build self-trust, and that's how you build confidence. Because when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to get it done. The way you show up into the gym teaches you how to show up everywhere else in life. For example, when you're running a mile on the treadmill, 2 miles on the treadmill, that moment where you're running and you hit that, like, I actually need to turn this off because I'm genuinely going to pass the fuck out on this treadmill right now moment. When you keep running, even though you feel like you're going to pass out, you start to realize that all the voices in your head aren't true. You're not going to pass out. You're going to be okay. And then 9 times out of 10, you do get the workout done and everything gets done. And in life, you have these moments where that little voice creeps in of that doubt whispering in your ear of like, I don't even think we can. And it will give you a valid excuse where you actually sit and you play with the idea like, I might not be able to do it. But I think the gym shows you that regardless of what your mind thinks, your body is physically capable of doing a lot of the things that you think it's not capable of doing. And so when you can push through that, you build calluses in your mind. So any hard moment in real life, if you can handle the hard feelings at the gym, it's going to become easier to handle those hard feelings in real life because you start to notice that they're not that different in emotions. It's like, it's the same feeling that you're feeling when you're like, I'm going to give up in the gym versus I'm literally going to give up in real life. That keep going, just give me 5 more reps is what you need in real life when you feel like you're about to give up, where it's like, give me 5 more minutes of this. Just give me a little bit more of it. If you can't go to the gym, I would look up on YouTube yoga, Pilates, 10-minute core workout, and just find 10-20 minutes out of your morning, out of your afternoon, whenever you're free. Find those 10-20 minutes to just move your body. And then go on Pinterest and look up all the different types of meals. There's so many meals on Pinterest, on Google, everywhere, on TikTok. There's really no excuses in this modern day society to genuinely not get anything that you want. Anything that you want can be self-made. If you want to build a business, if you want to build a certain body type, everything is online for you to access. Like, somebody already did what you wanted. Go read these stories of how people achieved some of the things that you want to achieve. If it's working out, if it is watching your favorite childhood shows, childhood movies, because to me, that's one. I really think connecting with your inner child is another form of self-love, because don't forget who you are. Did you forget who you are, Queen? Coming back to who you were before society shoved all their stupid ass opinions and all these stupid memes and tweets. Who were you before the world told you who you were? And so I think when you watch and listen to certain music that you used to listen to as a kid, watch certain movies, certain shows, and doing certain hobbies that you used to like, and just reconnecting with who you were, creating that connection with your inner child will not only give you that comfort because you're like, I'm nurturing my soul, but also give you that confidence, because when you're a kid, well, think about kids. Kids are unapologetically themselves, and I think that we lose that as we become adults. So when you connect to your inner child, you know who you are, and it's no judgment, it's nothing. I can make a whole other episode in itself on how to reconnect with your inner child. That is so important. Reconnecting with your inner child is a form of self-care, and there's many ways that you can have self-care. Eating and being healthy can actually determine how your mental well-being is. So that's the number one thing I would change, is what I put into my body. And cooking food, that's self-care. I'm like actually sitting down listening to a podcast or a TED Talk, or even watching a childhood movie, a childhood show. Put some fucking Wizards of Waverly Place. Like when I be cooking, I be putting Wizards of Waverly Place, Good Luck Charlie, like just to bring me back to when I was just a kid and it was, it's 7, 6 at night and I'm watching Disney Channel, but now I'm an adult and I'm cooking dinner for myself. Like romanticize it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Also, self-care is just looking good, showing up every day as the character that you want to be. You're gonna have to create a whole alter ego that you can channel into. Create that alter ego, and that alter ego should be completely different from who you were in this moment. And this is the fun part to me, right? Where you can play around with it. How would that alter ego dress, and the makeup she would do, and how would she do her hair, and what's her signature scent? You slowly start to build yourself up. I don't need too much. I don't need to spend so much money to be a bad bitch. Like you could literally give me like 3 makeup brushes and a few products and I'm gonna make some shit motherfucking shake. And that's just the type of person I am. Like if I don't have AirPods, if I don't have headphones and I want to go for a run, I'm gonna put my shit on blaring loud music and I don't give a fuck who watches me. Make the most with what you got. And a lot of the times you don't need everything to be the person that you want to be. You should treat every day like it's your motherfucking birthday. Dress every day like it's your motherfucking birthday. Act every day like it's your motherfucking birthday, because you should celebrate life every single day because you are alive. I was listening in therapy about how the brain will literally hold on to images and thoughts longer than your conscious self will. So you'll watch all these brain rot content and there's just so much online. It can sometimes get overstimulating for the soul. And so I think sometimes you got to take a minute, shut it off, and actually be intentional with what you ingest with your brain. Your brain is like a machine. It's like a computer. So as within, so without. It's very important, the knowledge that you intake every single day. I think it's important. Baddies study. Baddies are educated, okay? That's number one. Because when you're educated, you can maneuver through the world like an educated queen. There's different ways. There's podcasts, TED Talks, different types of books, and on TikTok they have so many book recommendations. There's so many ways that you can provide yourself knowledge, and it's very important to do so. That I think helped me a lot more than even exercising. When you are a smart motherfucking person, like that is your superpower. There's so many shallow fucking people in this world. Like yeah, they're pretty, but it's like there's more to beauty than that. That's such a vain way to think. It's such a shallow way to think, because there could be the prettiest fucking person with the ugliest fucking soul. I've seen so many people, like, they're so fucking pretty, but their soul is just so fucking ugly, bro. And so I think that when you can be an educated queen, like, being a baddie on the outside is just a plus. If you're young right now, it is so important to just learn as much as you can with the time that we have on this earth. And so when you're doing your self-care, when you're doing your makeup, or you're trying to discover a new skincare routine, a new hair care routine, or when you're cooking a meal, or just romanticizing your life, make sure that there's a motherfucking TED Talk in the background, you know what I'm saying? Or you're listening to an audiobook. Journaling is important. Journaling is just a way to, I think as humans, we don't open up 100% to everybody. And all that shit gets stored up in here and up here. When you can journal that out, you just get it off your chest and you can actually feel the weight lift out your motherfucking shoulders. Journaling is a way that you can connect with yourself, connect with your subconscious. And there's so many different journal prompts and shadow work prompts. So if you want to do journaling, go on Pinterest, Google, and just search up journal entry prompts, shadow work prompts, or self-love prompts, and it'll ask you a question and just answer it doesn't even have to be a motherfucking college essay. Just blot down all your feeling, they'll ask you a question and you be 100% honest with yourself so you can actually start to understand why you behave and act and feel a certain way, and how you can start to change that and slowly rebuild into the character and the alter ego that you've created for yourself. Kind of like Norma Jean with Marilyn Monroe. Education and self-love and romanticizing and just being a whimsical person, that is the way self-love is built. And through self-love, confidence is motherfucking had. And I'm not really saying this shit to be robotic, because I feel like when you start self-improvement, it feels like everything, it's like the self-improvement shit feels worse than just being a fucking bum. Like, I ain't even gonna lie, it feels like this is too much. So I'm not saying to just overwhelm yourself with all the shit I'm talking about, but it's like, choose one of the things to do. Like, cook a meal today, you know what I'm saying? Go on a 10-minute walk. Do one thing every single day. When you get 1% better, by the end of the year, you will improve so much more than if you were to do nothing every single day. I think Kaizen is really important. Kaizen basically means that 1% improvement every single day. When you walk into a building, okay, I want you to physically imagine that you have this energy field around you. And when you walk into the building, your body language matters. Don't be walking in all slouched, all looking down, all motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? You don't even know where the fuck you are, why the fuck you're here. You belong here. Like, if nobody ever told you, I'm telling you this now, you belong here. You were not put on earth by accident. You're not one of many. You belong here, and nobody can ever replicate your signature aura. Nobody can ever replicate your signature personality. You are who you are. You have all your silly little quirks. You have the good, the bad, everything, but you are who you are. Come into any room in this world with confidence because you belong here, and don't ever let people come over here and make you feel like you don't. We're not gonna do that. No, we not. I don't give a fuck. Like I said, I don't give a fuck if they have millions compared to you, if they have badder fucking hoes than you, a bigger house, it doesn't fucking matter, because you were put on this planet because you fucking belong here, 1,000%. And so you should have that for your inner child, for yourself, where it's like, no, I don't kind of give a fuck. I deserve everything, and I'm going to give myself everything. And you have to have that level of cockiness. I respect the cocky motherfucker. To me, I get inspired, actually. I'm like, honestly, I'm kind of inspired with the level of confidence that you have. So anybody else that gets insecure or feels mad or feels some type of way about you being a confident person is an insecure fucking loser that doesn't fucking love themselves. And that has nothing to do with you. It's not even your business what they feel or what they don't feel. And so when I walk into the room, I'm going to walk in here comfortable. Like, my soul is meant to be here. And some people, they'll subconsciously they don't feel like that. They don't feel like they belong here. So they walk into rooms where they feel like they have to prove themselves to the people in the room by being fucking funny or acting more nonchalant. Like, you don't have shit to prove. And you can walk into a room and you're like, they've never felt this energy because I've never stood in this room. And they're going to feel this energy because now I am here. And you have to think that way. And anybody else that makes you feel less is a fucking loser. They shouldn't. We're blocking. I'm not hearing the haters, ho. I'm not hearing the haters. I'm not doing it. It's a waste of fucking time. Life is too short. You literally have to walk in head high, chin high, like I am that motherfucking bitch. You have to be able to turn on that switch and channel that character. So when you walk into the room, regardless of who you have been in the past, you know that who you show up as now doesn't do that. We don't play that. Changing will cost you people. That's the tea. I ain't gonna lie to you. Changing will cost you people. It will cost you things. It will cost you sacrifice. And I think that's a lot of things. People ain't willing to sacrifice a lot of shit. You're gonna need to sacrifice something in order to become who you need to become. You need to let go in order to have room for the new to come in. So if you need to let go of all those unhealthy habits that are keeping you stuck, it's time to drop it, babe. It's time to drop it immediately. Immediately. It's not easy, but it is simple. I love the way confidence is built. All you need to be confident is to simply love yourself and accept yourself and respect yourself and honor yourself and embrace yourself. I think that's a really grateful problem to genuinely have. And I want to take a minute for that. Like, the world is chaotic. A lot of people didn't win the geographical lottery. So some people out there have the same ambition, same drive, same dedication. Shit, they probably have more than you do. But they're not able to be that because they're in a situation where they're in poverty, they're in war. That is a very blessed problem to have. And that's like the fucking smallest problem to have. And when you realize that in itself, I feel like it's like we're blessed. At the end of the day, it's like that's the problem. Let's just get it motherfucking done. You know what I'm saying? If you're here now and you're listening to this and you're at this moment where it's like, I know who I am, I know what I need to do to change, that already is the first step to being the baddest bitch. Once the thought is planted into your head, it's planted into your head for a reason. And I truly believe that there's different versions of you that exist. And I think that if you have a dream, there was a version of you that has that's planted it into this version of you, so you can achieve that in this lifetime. You have that dream for a reason. So honestly, lean into it, trust into it, and just go down the Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole. See where it takes you. Start reading books. Start prioritizing your life. Start setting intentions. Start getting serious about who you want to be, how you want to look like, how you want to act. Create that alter ego and start to step into her, become her. When you keep practicing that every single day, you start to understand Marilyn a little bit motherfucking more. You understand that she was Norma Jean, but she had to become Marilyn Monroe by completely shifting her energy inside and outside. And yes, queens, I think I'm gonna leave the episode on that. I post every single Thursday if you guys want to subscribe and follow my YouTube channel. And if you guys are on the podcast and Spotify app, y'all can 5-star rate my podcast and follow, queens. And yeah, you guys, I will see you guys next week. Peace and motherfucking love. Bye, queens.